Yo! Welcome back, everybody. How you doing, man? It's freaking Tuesday. Only freaking Tuesday. All right, so, gonna get right down to it, man. No fooling around today, all right? Very serious matter at hand. Now, this hand or that hand, I don't know, but one of these hands is a very serious matter, all right? All right, so, I want to talk about one of my favorite underrated bands today. That's right. Now, we just went over, like, Raven, which is another one of my freaking all-time favorite underrated bands. And today's another one. Now, the boys are from Brooklyn, New York. The old Brooklyn in the house. All right? And they, went through some stuff, man, right off the bat. All right? The guitar player, Mark Reel, and the original drummer, Peter Batali, right? They got together with their little friend, their bass player there, Phil Ferret, something like that. And then they got the great vocalist, Guy Speranza. That's right. Any idea who I'm talking about here? Oh, you guys don't know. All right. Riot. All right? One of the freaking best underrated freaking bands, man. So, pick this book up. Again, Mr. Martin Popoff, right? This is a great freaking book, man. Swords and Tequila, the Riot story. All right? If you can find this, pick it up, all right? It's not too thick. It's pretty good reading. It's got a lot of cool pictures in there. Explains the whole ups and downs with these guys. Just unbelievable, all right? So I'll give you a little quick, brief bio on these guys, all right? So those dudes I just mentioned, they went out, they started playing together. They got like a little 4-track demo going on. And then it picked up the attention. Now, let me reverse a little bit. So these guys started in 75, right? 1975. When they got the band together and doing all sorts of stuff, 75, 76, 77, 78, in Brooklyn in the 70s at that point, everything was disco, all right? Everything. I mean, Saturday Night Fever, parts of that was filmed in Brooklyn. The whole dance scene was filmed at the 2001 dance place there. I mean, disco was huge, all right? And you're trying to be a long-haired guy walking around Brooklyn back in that disco days, you took a lot of crap, all right? So, these guys, they stuck to their guns, man, grew the hair, playing rock and roll, all right? So, their little 4-track demo, they got the attention of these two producer guys that also owned a small record label called Firesign. And they had a studio called Green Street Recording Studio down in Manhattan, all right? That's Billy Arnell and Steve Loeb, who became basically Riot's producers / managers, all right? So they go in and to record all this stuff, they replaced the bass player with another bass player, this guy Jimmy Iommi, spit it out, not Tony Iommi's brother. Now, no relations, all right? So they get Jimmy Iommi. They add a second guitar player, this guy Louis. I'm gonna screw up his last name. Kovaris, somewhere along those lines. And at one point, they had a keyboard player. What the hell's this guy's name? Steve Costello. But he didn't work out either, so they got rid of Steve. They took on Louis, and they took on Jimmy. They went in, and then they recorded their first album called Rock City, all right? Which is this right here. Now, I have the CD of this, all right? They recorded this. Now, there's some good songs on here. Now, this is like a remastered kind of CD. This came out by Metal Blade, all remastered up. All right, this is the back of it. Comes with the cool insert with the words. And what's cool is the pictures in here are cool because it's showing them back in like the early club days, I mean, it's hard to see. I get it, But, yeah, some really cool pictures in here. All right. So Rock City kind of looks like that. I mean, there's some better shots there with the color pictures. So they come out with this. Now, there's some good stuff on here, man. You got Desperation is a good song. Warrior is cool, man. Rock City. Overdrive, Angel, Tokyo Rose was kind of like their, I can't even say it was a hit, but what else on here? Heart of Fire, Gypsy Queen, This Is What I Get. All right, so there's some good stuff on here. It's worth checking out. For a debut album, Rock City, it's got some cool stuff. All right, that's the back of it. So check that out. So they put this out and they start touring with AC/DC. They opened up for like Molly Hatchet, but it didn't go anywhere. All right, so that kind of nothing. So they in the midst of all that touring, they kind of get hooked up with Capitol Records, and then they release this Narita. All right, now this is definitely a step up. All right, from the Rock City album. On Narita, they signed to Capitol and they went on tour with Sammy Hagar. Because Sammy was on Capitol and he was, this was before I Can't Drive 55 and all that nonsense. He was still making a name for himself. So Riot goes on tour with him because the band almost broke up in 79. So if they started around 75-ish, 3-4 year period, they're like, nothing's happening after the first album. They almost broke up. Now, this is 79. Kiss put out Dynasty in 1979. So that tells you, and the Stones put out Miss You, and, Rod Stewart with Do You Think I'm Sexy? So that shows you the musical landscape that was going on at the time, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so something like that, straight up hard rock, really kind of wasn't kind of cutting it, especially a freaking band from Brooklyn, New York. You know what I mean? So those guys were doing that. So they end up on Capitol Records, right? Capitol puts them out. They put out Narita, all right? Very good album, all right? This is the back of it, all right? Now on here, you got Waiting for the Taking. That's a great freaking song, man, all right? The 49er, another great song, man. Kick Down the Wall, killer fucking song, man. Then they do a cover of Born to Be Wild. My God, that song. How many people have covered Steppenwolf's Born to Be Wild? How many bar bands have you seen do that song? Listen, I'm an old guy. I can't stand that song anymore. I'm sorry. I can't stand listening to Born to Be Wild anymore. I can't. Seen too many bar bands play that song. Someone starts playing it, I walk out. And then I'll come back in when the song's over. I can't. All right. Then they do Narita. They flip the album over. It goes, Here We Come Again, which is cool. Do It Up, Hot for Love, White Rock, and Road Racing, which was a great song on here, man. And you still had Guy Speranza singing. What a voice on this guy. It was just so original and so unique, man. I mean, you got if you don't know Riot, you got to check them out. Not Quiet Riot, just Riot, all right? Guy's voice was great. Mark Reel, the guitar player, again, was still on here. Jimmy Iommi, Peter Vitelli on drums, and then now they get in Rick Ventura, who replaces Louis. All right, Louis splits, and then they get Rick. Rick is a very good guitar player. Not that Louis wasn't. Louis was, but, for whatever personal reasons, he split. So then they get Rick Ventura. All right, cool stuff. All right, it's my original album, and you'll see that it's on the Capitol label. All right, old school Capitol label. All right. The old Sammy Hagar label's the same thing, all right? So, good stuff on here, man. It's definitely worth checking out, all right? Narita, boom. So, they go with Narita, and then what happened is, because it's almost like Capitol kind of used them. Signed the band, throws them out on tour to go support Sammy. The tour is over, what happens? Capitol drops Riot. Like, dude, seriously? What the hell? So, at this point, the two manager guys took the advanced money that they got from Capitol, and they just started, oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? They started like doing petitions, and they started to get like the fans to go strike in front of EMI. Now, in the meantime, Riot was getting a name over in England, all right? They were getting kind of popular over there. Now, I don't know if any of you guys, you follow the new wave of British heavy metal and stuff like that, and Iron Maiden. If you know DJ Neil Kay, all right? This guy was a huge force on that side, man. He was a DJ. and he had a place where all he played was metal, man. All this up-and-coming metal and classic metal, and kids would just go there and hang out and, play air guitar and just unleash and hear all these new bands, That's basically where Maiden was getting their, record, the Soundhouse tapes were playing, because this guy Neil Kay. And Neil Kay started to promote Riot, he was throwing Narita out there like, hey. So the fans got together and started almost going on strike and stuff, picketing in front of the record companies. So because of that, Capitol says, all right, let's go do another album. They go do another album, right, which is what I'm going to show you. They do the album, but then what happens is Capitol hears it, and they're like, we don't like it. We don't hear a hit. We don't hear any commercial success on this. So they never release it. They never release the album, and they wouldn't let Riot out of their contract. So Riot is like stuck in freaking limbo at this point. Like, seriously, you won't release our album and you won't release us out of the contract. These guys are screwed. So it's like, holy crap, man, what the hell's going to go on? So again, they just started, causing a scene. In turn, Elektra Records picks up Riot. Elektra makes a deal with Capitol Records. I guess there was some money, whatever it was, to get them out of that contract. Elektra picks them up, releases the album, and that album that I'm going to show you shoots up the friggin' Billboard charts, man. Just, it just kills me. It's like, why didn't Capitol just release the damn thing? Because they didn't hear a hit or something like that? Unbelievable. So Elektra was smart. They took it, they released it, and the album took off. And to me, it's Riot's best album, all right? And that album I'm talking about is Fire Down Under, all right? Now, this album, I've seen other YouTube guys talk about this, but this album is freaking great, all right? If you don't have this in your collection, you need to go get this, all right? Because this album is freaking killer. Now, there's only one thing on here that I don't dig, and I'll talk about that when I start to go down to freaking songs here. But this is freaking killer, man. All right? Now, at this point, they got a new drummer, Sandy Salvin. They got another bass player, Kip. What the hell's this guy's name, man? Please hold. Kip Lemming. There you go. So you still got Guy singing. You still got Mark playing guitar. You got Sandy Salvin on drums now. You get Rick Ventura, who was on the last album, and Kip Lemming on bass. And this album, man, the first time I heard it, even now when I put it on, it's just killer, man. Dude. So right off the bat, and this is the back of the album, all right? Right off the bat, starts off with Swords and Tequila. Dude, that song is just killer, man. The guitar riffs, the way Guy sings, the drums are just so fast and furious, man. It's not double bass type stuff. But freaking Sandy is a great freaking drummer, man. He just kills it. Swords and Tequila. Then it goes into the title track, Fire Down Under. Dude, those two songs alone is all you need on this album. Unbelievable, man. Fire Down Under. And Guy, man, just singing his ass off. And then it goes into Feel the Same. Another great freaking song, man. 3 freaking great songs in a row, man. Feel the Same. The drums on that, and just... hard to explain. After that goes into another great song called Outlaw. Oh, my God. The chorus is great. The guitar riff is freaking great. I'm telling you, this album freaking rules. All right, then it goes into Don't Bring Me Down. Again, it's just killer, man. You cannot go wrong with Fire Down Under. Then you flip the freaking album over. It goes into Don't Hold Back. Just the beginning of it. Dun, dun, dun. Boom, dun, 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 dun. The riff, the drums. Again, Guy Speranza, his vocals are just unbelievable. I cannot believe Capitol would not release this. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? One of the best albums ever, man. Ever. All right? Then it goes into Altar of the King. All right? It starts off slow, little medieval guitar going on. There's a slight pause. Then the snare. Boom. And then you're off and running, man. Altar of the King is a great freaking song, man. Then it goes into another cool song called No Lies. All right. Just the drums in that, you know, it's hard to explain. But great stuff, dude. Then it goes into Run for Your Life. It's just freight train. It's just coming at you. But every one of these songs that I've mentioned so far is just a freight train, just killing you, man. Just running you over forwards, coming back, hitting you again, going forward again. This album will run you over about 100 freaking times before you come up for breath. Now, the only thing I don't like on here is this thing called Flashbacks. It's the only thing on here that kills it because it's not a song. All it is just like crowd noise and some guitar stuff and little bits and pieces of the songs. Like, what do you do? Like, whose idea was that? Now, I have a CD of this that has bonus tracks, all right? They should have just put one of the bonus tracks on here and not put Flashbacks on here. It's just such a waste of a freaking great album. So basically, this album is killer and no filler except for Flashbacks. It just kills it. So the only cool thing with like having a CD now, when you put it in, you can kind of like program, you know, the songs you want to hear, and I just leave that one out. But when I'm listening to the album, you know, I just let it go unless I'm like really annoyed, whatever. Then I gotta get up and pick the needle up because Flashbacks drives me nuts. All right, but other than that, this album is great. All right, it's so great. I have multiple copies of this. Of course I do. Now this is my original copy. All right, you can see the paper's kind of worn out. This is on the old Electra. All right, some of you guys might recognize this label from Motley Crue. All right. Dude, I played this album to death. Killer, man. Oh. All right. Yeah, Riot. Unbelievable band, man. One of the best bands that ever came out of New York, you know. Now, unfortunately, you know, Guy has passed away. He passed away November 8th, like 2003, from pancreatic cancer. Mark, the original guitar player I talked about, he passed away in January of 2012. Now, Mark, when I get to the end of this Riot stuff, when this original kind of band broke up, he kept Riot going with a whole bunch of different band members, and they went in a totally different direction. And, you know, I think even now, the band Riot still carries on. I think they're called Riot 5 now or something. I don't even know. But for me, the last album I'm going to show you is kind of like the cutoff for me. And then I tried to get into them later on. It wasn't the same thing. You know, after this and the other two that I'm going to show you, I couldn't. It's just, I was done. I was done. And then, yeah, so Guy is gone. Mark is gone. And, the other singer, when I get to, is another one. All right, so that's one copy. Here's another copy I got. All right. And you see the little hype sticker there? All right. Now, this has some extra songs on it. All right. This is like a remastered. It's on Arctic white marbled vinyl. This is 91 out of 300. This has 2 extra songs on it. It has Misty Morning Rain and You're All I Needed Tonight. Plus, it still has Flashbacks on it. All right. It's remastered, 180 gram. Something's floating around in here. So this came with a poster of the album cover. All right. This is pretty badass. I'll show you the vinyl in a second, because it's got some other stuff. Please hold. So it comes with this. Got some pictures. All right. The boys back in the day. And it comes with the lyrics. All right. Kind of cool. Now, this is the vinyl. which is pretty badass. It's 180 gram. It looks like that. That's one of my favorites. Pretty cool. It's the other side. Riot, Fire Down Under. I'm telling you, I freaking love this album. Now, you put that back there. Now, look, where'd it go? There's another one. It's mixed up with the other ones. So, here's my Japanese pressing of it. Okay? The OBI thing going on. This has no extra songs. It's the same old, same old. Okay? Pretty cool. Picture of the guys up there. The little bio. All right? Japanese handwriting. There's a cool picture of him. All right? There's Guy, the singer. There's Mark. Kip, Sandy. Rick. This opens up. And it's got the lyrics. All right? Fucking Riot, man. And then the Japanese pressing comes in the plastic. And it's on like this Victor label. All right. Looks pretty cool. Pressed in Tokyo, Japan. Awesome stuff going on there. All right, we put this to the side. Scratch this up. All right. So that takes care of Fire Down Under. So now they do all that. Now, after they toured and opened up for everybody and their mother, Guy, the singer, he was just like, he was done with touring. He didn't want to tour anymore. Girlfriend stuff or religion stuff. I don't know, a whole bunch of different things going on. And he was just like, yeah, man, I'm done. So Riot, they go get a new singer. They get Rhett Forster, who I'm about to show you. And they come out, oh, I'm a knucklehead. I have one more version of Fire Down Under. And then I will get on to the next one. Getting ahead of myself here. All right. So this one I just got the other day. Now this is, it's a special edition. And this is number 147 out of 750. So there's 750 copies of this made. And I got number 147. Let me take it out of plastic. All right. You can see kind of right there. Kind of maybe. 147. Now this, there's nothing really fancy. No inner sleeves, nothing like that. Just that it's 180 gram and it's on this cool red vinyl. Which is pretty badass. It's all remastered, restored, all that sort of stuff. All right? Pretty cool. Awesome. I just got this the other day. Amazon, by the way. If you want to order this one. Awesome stuff. Throw this back in there. Yeah, nothing. Didn't come with anything fancy or extra or anything like that. All right, just put this to the side. Put it like this so I know. All right. So, Guy leaves and they get in Rhett. All right. So, they record Restless Breed. All right. Now, this is a great album. It's a killer album as well. It's different than Fire Down Under, where Fire Down Under is just fast and furious. This kind of takes you a little more kind of like Bad Company-ish. It's still rocking, but, you know, Rhett's voice, he has a different kind of growl than Guy did. But he's got a great voice, man. But it's cool stuff on here as well, man. Hard Loving Man's a great freaking song right off the bat. CIA is a great freaking song. It's got a good chorus. Restless Breed, that's a great song. And that's where it gets very Bad Company. If you think of the Bad Company song, Bad Company, Restless Breed is kind of like that. All right. When I Was Young is a cover song. Great version. These guys do it very well. Lone Shark. Now, Lone Shark is a fast and furious song. All right. Don't sleep on these guys. You know, even though I said it's like a little Bad Company, but Lone Shark could have been on Fire Down Under. Flip it over, song Loved by You. Great song, man. This is another great album, all right? Over to You, another one of my favorites, okay? Then it goes into Showdown. It's a, a slower ballady kind of thing. Again, takes you kind of back to Bad Company-ish. All right. Then it goes into Dream Away. It's just another great freaking song. And then it ends with Violent Crimes. Just another fast, furious freaking song. All right. So you can check this one out too, man. You know, they were on a roll here. These two albums back to back are really freaking good, man. I love Restless Breed. All right. So that's my original copy. It's stuck. Came with this original, order form for stuff, for merch. All right. And at this point, they're still with the same producer guys, still doing the same thing. This is my original vinyl. This is the sleeve it came in. Right, shows some other albums. All right, the old Elektra label. And this is another album I played to death, and I still play it to death. Great shit, man. Freaking Riot, just one of those bands, man. Again, like Raven and Thin Lizzy just couldn't get over that hump. Some of the, like, if you read that book that I just showed you in the beginning, just the bad luck and just bad timing of stuff with these guys just killed them, So I got another copy of this. All right, it's the same thing. There's no extra songs on it. All right. It did come with this. Really nothing. It's got the lyrics and just a kind of picture of the cover. Now this is on this cool, clear, let me show you, yellowy orange kind of vinyl. All right, it's 180 gram. It's all remastered up. Sounds great. Okay, awesome stuff right here. All right. So to go with that, I got another version. Now this one is 2 albums, all right? Because one album is live. This is gatefold. Okay, let me show you. Looks like that. Get some cool live shots. All right. Awesome. Yeah, so it's got the same songs as that, but then the other album in here, it's live. Like I said, it's got Hard Loving Man, Showdown, Love by You, Lone Shark, Restless Breed, and then they kick it off with they end it with Swords and Tequila, all right, which was on the other album. So let me show you what this looks like. Double album. Bust this bad boy out. All right, it's got some cool live shots. And it's got the lyrics. Yeah, awesome stuff, man. This band's kicking ass. Ooh, all right. Sleeve, nothing going on there. This is the regular black vinyl, but it's 180 gram. It's heavy, okay? Cool stuff. Remastered up. Sounds amazing. It goes there. The other album is the same. Let me put this back in here. Freaking Riot. Yeah, it's the same thing. All right, the label is different. It's just red because it's live, okay? Now, these guys did put out a live kind of EP. And I forget if these were the same songs that are on it or not. I don't remember. I had it at one point. I have it on CD. I should have grabbed it. But good stuff, all right? That's the other side, live. That goes there. This goes here. All right, put that back in there. Screw nothing up. We just put this here for now. All right. So, with Red on board, with Restless Breed, they're going out. The band is still kicking ass. I mean, they opened up for Rush at one point and a whole bunch of other people, man. They were just gigging all over the place. So now at this point, because nothing was really going on, Elektra drops them, all right? So they make another album under an independent label, and basically the 2 producer guys, I think one guy had left at one point and they got somebody else. That was another whole drama thing going on with their management / producer guys. So independent label, they put it out themselves, and they come out with Born in America, all right? So right off the bat, this album cover sucks. I mean, really, no thought was put into this at all. Like, this is what you put out. Now, I know there's another version because I've seen it, and it's got like, you guys know the old, the other Bon Jovi Slippery When Wet, and it's got like a girl kind of thing going on with it, you know? Well, it was the same thing with this. It's like a white cover, and it's got a chick on it, you know, with her t-shirt says Riot, Born in America, or something like that. It's out there. I'm sure if you go to eBay, someone's selling it. I mean, it's the same song, just a different cover. But I would have taken that over this. Like, come on, man. Seriously? But the songs on here are good, all right? Born in America is a good song. You Burning Me was a really good freaking song. Wings of Fire is good. Running from the Law, great freaking song, man. Devil Woman is a cover song of Cliff Richard's. Now, Cliff Richard's was an English dude. He had a minor hit with that here in America, probably in the late 70s, early 80s, all right? If you know the song, you may hear it, but these guys do a good version of it. You flip it over, Vigilante Killer. Oh my God, that's a great song, man. That could almost been on like Judas Priest, Hellbent for Leather. It's that kind of song. Heavy Metal Machine is a cool song. Where Soldiers Rule, another one, man. Just, there's really some killer stuff on here, man. Gunfighter, great song. And then it goes into Promised Land. Now, my only beef about this album, they boosted the drums up, but it's just not a clear album. Like, the drums, they bring them up to the front, but it's not a really good drum sound. I don't know what they were shooting for with this. You know, they went from Fire Down Under and Restless Breed that have, you know, a good drum sound. I mean, the band sounds mixed really well. But this one, it's not like, I don't know. It just sounds more raw. Let's put it that way, all right? Well, those two are a little more polished. This sounds raw. Let's just leave it at that. Now, it's not bad. I dig it. I love this album. It's got some good stuff on it, like I just said. But just between the album cover and the sound of it. But other than that, it's a great album, all right? So that's my original copy. Like I said, it was on an original label. And this is the label it was on, all right? And that's the other side, original, all right? So, I mean, it's a good album. The songs are killer, man. So, yeah, Born in America. Ooh. This is the other side of it. All right, it's got the Born in America lyrics. The only song, and it's got the song titles. Nothing going on the inside. All right. Now, I do have a remastered version of it, which I think came out on Metal Blade. Did they pick this up? Yeah, Metal Blade picked this up. So it's the same cover, the same back. They put a sleeve in with some pictures. All right. And then they got the words on the other side, which is cool. All right, sleeve, nothing fancy. Black vinyl, right, 180 gram. Now, this sounds better. It still has that raw sound, but it's cleaned up a little bit, all right, just because it's remastered. They cleaned it up a little bit, but it's still great sound. So, basically, after this, they, you know, Rhett was kind of, his behavior was a little erratic on tour and stuff, and they were starting to have problems, and then basically, you know, nothing happened with that, and just everything just fizzled, you know. So they started out with Rock City, they got some momentum, they came out with, you know, Narita, you know, they were getting a really good following. Fire Down Under just, you know, sent them up into the stratosphere per se. And then, you know, Guy leaves at the height of that. You know, if Guy would have stayed, Riot would have been a bigger band. You know, I think they would have taken off a little bit more, you know. But then he leaves. They get Red. They put out a great album, man, Restless Breed. It just doesn't do anything, you know. And then they come out with this Born in America, which really went nowhere. Because at the time, when this thing basically came out, you had Quiet Riot now with friggin' Come On Feel the Noise all over the radio, right? So once that hit, man, that was it. The record company, as you guys know, went and signed everybody and their mother in LA, and then the hair metal band fucking stuff took off. You know, that was it. So that was, you know, basically the end of Riot. So the band breaks up. Mark, the guitar player, goes down to Texas. He hangs out there for a while. He does his thing, and then he gets, you know, he gets the Riot band back together, he does some Riot, but he also hooks up with TNT singer Tony Harnell. And they did a side project called Westworld. Now, I have a bunch of their CDs. Now, it sounds nothing like this and nothing like TNT, all right? It's very, it's hard to describe the music, but it's cool, all right? So if you go and Google, try to find Westworld, W-E-S-T-W-O-R-L-D, Westworld, Mark Reel and Tony Harnell, check some of that stuff out because I actually dig some of it. Like I said, I have the CDs. Some of it is cool. It's very melodic. It sounds nothing like Mark did with Riot. Nothing like it. But it's completely different. And Tony Harnell's voice, man, that guy is unbelievable. All right? So the two of them together with that project sounds really cool, man. I have I don't know, maybe 4 of their albums, I think it's just 4 or 5, but definitely 3 or 4. Let's put it that way. Really cool stuff, man. You can check that out. And then after that, man, Mark, besides Westworld, went back and did the Riot thing for a while, and then Mark got sick and he just couldn't do it anymore, and then the whole bunch of different members, like I said, in and out of Riot, and then like I said, Mark just passed away a couple years ago, and now other people are continuing with the band, just carrying out the Riot name. But yeah, that's it. And besides all the stuff that I just showed you, there's some bootleg archival stuff you can find out there, even on Amazon. There's some live recordings from club dates and some other stuff. You might find some demos on these things. What else? But I think that's really about it. You may find some DVDs. Some guys might have taken it from VHS and put it on DVD, so the quality might not be all that great. But, you search on YouTube, you might find some videos on here. But these guys, man, between, Restless Breed and Fire Down Under, dude, forget it. Definitely pick this up. This should be in your album collection. Shame on you if it's not. Fire Down Under, Riot. Great band. So that's it for Riot, man. That's really wanted to talk about these guys and just send a message out there. I know a lot of you guys know Riot. I know you dig them. Maybe don't know all the albums and stuff like that, but they're all worth checking out, all right? So go check it out. Do yourself a favor, all right? So till next time, guys, all right? It's Tuesday. Still got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get through. Don't worry. Tomorrow's Wednesday, hump day. We're almost to the weekend again, all right? So listen, have a good one. Take care of one another. Watch out for one another. And, peace out, Buttercup. I'll see you guys soon. All right, man. Rock on.